Hey there, fellow cruisers. Welcome aboard Travel Vibes, your go-to spot for real-world cruise tips, tricks, and surprises no one tells you about. Whether you're a first-timer dreaming of ocean views or a seasoned sailor who knows the deck layout by heart, this channel's for you. Let's be honest, there's something magical about cruising. The salty breeze, the thrill of exploring new ports, the joy of waking up somewhere different every day. It's freedom, fun, and floating luxury, all rolled into one. But here's the thing, cruising in 2025, it's not quite what it used to be. New tech, new policies, and yes, new rules that might just change how you cruise entirely. So before you pack your bags or click book now, you'll want to hear this. If you love cruising smart, not just cruising pretty, make sure to hit that subscribe button so you never miss a wave of insight. 1. Strict teen curfews are now enforced on major cruise lines. Let's kick things off with a rule that's surprising a lot of families. Teen curfews on board. If you're cruising with kids or grandkids under 18, listen closely. On major lines like Carnival, teens are now required to be out of all public areas by 1 a.m. sharp. That's not just the nightclub. This includes arcades, pool decks, and, yes, even that cozy pizza lounge with the beanbags. And this isn't just a friendly reminder. Break curfew? Your teen could be confined to the cabin, or even removed from the ship at the next port. Cruise lines say it's about creating a safe and peaceful nighttime atmosphere. Parents, however, often find out the hard way, after they've already booked. If your idea of cruising includes freedom for the whole family, this rule might feel like a curveball, but knowing ahead of time? That's your secret weapon. 2. Deck chair. Hogging? It's time to play fair. Now, let's talk about a classic cruise ritual we've all witnessed. Some of us may have even done it. You wake up early, throw a towel on the perfect lounger by the pool, and disappear for hours. Breakfast, spa, maybe a quick nap. Then return, expecting your prime spot to still be waiting. Well, 2025 just called, and it's changing the game. Cruise lines like Royal Caribbean and Carnival are now actively enforcing deck chair time limits. If you leave your seat unattended for more than 30 to 40 minutes, your towel, flip-flops, and mystery paperback might get collected and moved, sometimes with a polite note, sometimes straight to lost and found. They call it towel justice. And yes, it's real. Now, for those who genuinely enjoy relaxing by the pool, soaking in the sun, watching the sea roll by, chatting with fellow cruisers, this change is a win. It's about making sure everyone gets a fair shot at the best views and breezy spots. So next time you're tempted to reserve a lounger and vanish, remember, the chair you save might just end up in someone else's margarita selfie. 3. Buffet limits are real. Even on lobster night. All right, food lovers, this one might sting a little. If you've ever treated lobster night like a competitive sport, loading your plate sky high with tails, shrimp, and maybe a side of steak, you're not alone. It's been a legendary part of cruising for decades. But now, in 2025, the rules have changed. Cruise lines are placing strict limits on buffet portions, especially on high-demand nights. In many dining rooms, you'll now see signs that gently, or sometimes boldly, say 1 lobster tail per guest. And yes, they're watching. Why? It's all part of a push to reduce food waste. And from an environmental standpoint, that makes sense. But for longtime cruisers who see the buffet as a highlight, it can feel like the golden age of indulgence is sailing away. Some guests have even tried to game the system. New shirt, different hat, a fresh loop through the line. Let's just say, the crew is one step ahead, and butter trails don't lie. So if you're cruising for the cuisine, come hungry, but come prepared for a little more structure than before. 4. No more dramatic fan flips, at least not indoors. Let's move from lobster tails to dance floor etiquette, because cruising isn't just about food and sun, it's also about letting loose and having fun. But if you're someone who loves to make a stylish entrance with a clack of a folding fan, here's something new you need to know. In 2025, many cruise lines have officially banned handheld fans in indoor venues. Why? Well, too many guests were getting an unexpected face full of plastic mid-dance. Combine tight spaces, energetic moves, and a fan that snaps open like a firecracker, and you've got a safety issue waiting to happen. So now, if it folds, clicks, or turns heads for the wrong reasons, it's best left in your cabin. Outdoor decks? You're free to cool off in style. But in the theater, lounges, or nightclubs, it's hands-off the handheld flair. As cruise culture evolves, it's all about balancing self-expression with shared space. And hey, you can still shine, just maybe without the wind machine. 5. Surprise passenger taxes in Mexico. Know before you go now. If your itinerary includes Cozumel, Cabo, or any of Mexico's gorgeous coastal gems, here's something that might catch you off guard. As of mid-2025, Mexico has rolled out new port taxes. You'll now see a $5 to $21 port fee, plus a $42 non-resident surcharge per person. And no, it's not optional. So for a typical family of 4, that's around $168 in extra charges, before you've even grabbed your first margarita or posed with the donkey in a sombrero. It's important to know that cruise lines aren't keeping this money. It's a government-imposed fee, quietly tacked onto your onboard account. And the tricky part? These fees often appear after booking, so unless you're reading the fine print or watching videos like this one, they can feel like an unexpected expense. 6. California cruises are now more transparent. Finally, some relief. Now here's a breath of fresh sea air, especially for those of you who like your prices clear and honest. If you're booking a cruise that departs from California, new consumer protection laws mean what you see is what you actually pay. That once misleading $199 cruise deal that ballooned into $859 after taxes, port fees, and a mystery charge for towel folding? It's history, at least in the Golden State. Thanks to this price transparency law, your final total shows up front, helping you make real comparisons and smarter choices. Unfortunately, cruisers departing from Florida or Texas may still find themselves playing fee roulette. But if you're leaving from Los Angeles or Long Beach, your bank account will thank you for the honesty. Smart cruising starts with smart booking, and this update makes that easier than ever. 7. Greek island ports now come with entry fees and limits. If you've been dreaming of stepping off the ship in Santorini, camera in hand and sea breeze in your hair, here's something new you need to know. Greece has introduced a 20 per person port entry fee in iconic destinations like Mykonos and Santorini. And that's not all. They've also begun enforcing daily ship caps, meaning fewer vessels are allowed to dock each day. So even if your itinerary includes a Greek island stop, there's a chance your ship may not be granted access, or you might be told to stay on board if the limit's been reached. Now, this move is part of an effort to manage over-tourism and protect historic sites. But for cruise travelers, it can turn a bucket list stop into a view from the balcony experience. Checking your itinerary and understanding port rules ahead of time? That's the savvy traveler's new must-do. 8. Barcelona reduces cruise access, and it's already affecting itineraries. Next on the list is a city that's on nearly every cruiser's dream itinerary. Barcelona, known for its rich history, vibrant street life, and the awe-inspiring Sagrada Familia, it's long been a favorite port of call. But now, Barcelona is taking a bold step to limit cruise tourism. The city has begun downsizing its cruise port from 7 terminals down to 5, and by 2030, they're placing a hard cap of 31,000 passengers per day. The surprising part? This isn't just a plan for the future. The shift has already started. Some ships are being rerouted or denied access, leading to last-minute itinerary changes. Instead of strolling Las Ramblas, some travelers are spending the day docked near industrial zones, watching cargo containers roll by. So if you're planning a Mediterranean adventure, it's smart to double-check your port details, because even iconic stops are now subject to surprise changes. 9. Smart luggage with built-in batteries? Not so smart anymore. Now let's talk tech, specifically smart luggage. If you've upgraded to one of those sleek bags that can charge your phone, track your location, or even weigh itself, that's great. But there's a catch. If the battery inside your bag can't be removed, it's officially not allowed on most cruise ships. Cruise lines are tightening rules around non-removable lithium-ion batteries, citing fire hazards in storage areas. Even if your suitcase is TSA approved or cost a small fortune, it won't pass the boarding process if the battery isn't detachable. Some guests have tried to get creative, tucking their smart bag inside another to sneak it through. But security teams spot these bags faster than kids spot the dessert station. So before you roll up to the terminal, double-check your gear. Because in 2025, high-tech isn't always cruise-friendly. 10. Smart devices are being flagged. Tech limits at sea. As cruise ships get more connected, you might expect them to welcome cutting-edge gadgets. But surprisingly, 2025 is bringing a wave of restrictions on high-tech travel tools. Devices like personal Wi-Fi routers, mobile hotspots, and even Starlink minis are now banned or heavily restricted on many ships. The reason? These devices can interfere with onboard communication systems and even navigation equipment. And it's not just internet-related gear. Drones, GPS-enhanced action cams, and any device that streams or flies without permission, they're off the list too. Some guests have tried capturing sail-away footage with drones, only to have them intercepted mid-air by cruise security. Impressive footage, sure, but not worth the confiscation. So before packing your tech, check the cruise line's approved electronics policy. Because in this digital age, even explorers need to know when to unplug. 11. AI glasses and smart jewelry? Cruise lines say no thanks. And now for one of the most surprising updates of all. In 2025, some cruise lines have officially banned AI-powered wearables. And yes, that includes items as small as your sunglasses or your favorite smart ring. If your accessory can record, stream, translate, or listen, it may be flagged at boarding. Devices like AI glasses, smart earrings, and voice-activated rings are now being treated as potential privacy risks. One guest showed up with live translation Ray-Bans, ready to explore the ship multilingual style. Instead, he was gently escorted off with a smile and directions to the nearest parking lot. Cruise lines say it's about protecting guest privacy. So if your gadget does more than sparkle, leave it at home. Because these days, if it's smarter than your travel buddy, it's probably not welcome aboard. 12. Quiet zones are getting louder, and cruise lines are pushing back. Cruising isn't just about parties and poolside music. For many travelers, it's also about relaxation, reading, and those quiet moments with a view of the sea. That's why cruise ships are now taking quiet zones more seriously than ever. Areas like libraries, lounges, and even some open-air decks are now designated for low-volume enjoyment only. Guests who ignore the signs may receive a polite warning, or in some cases, be asked to relocate. The goal isn't to ruin your fun, it's to give everyone a space to unwind. So if you're someone who values calm seas and a good book, this change is for you. Just remember, headphones are welcome, but if your Bluetooth speaker starts blasting yacht rock at sunrise, expect some side eyes, and maybe a visit from guest services. 13. Dress codes are back, and cruise lines are getting stricter. Let's talk about what you wear, because cruising in 2025 is bringing back a little more formality in certain spaces. Many cruise lines are now enforcing stricter dress codes, especially in elegant dining rooms and upscale lounges. That means tank tops, swimwear, and athletic gear may no longer be welcome, even during the day. The vibe is shifting toward resort casual. Think breezy slacks, sundresses, or collared shirts. It's not about being fancy, it's about creating a refined experience for guests who enjoy those special moments at sea. So while flip-flops are perfect for the pool deck, they may feel out of place next to a grand piano and white tablecloths. Packing a few elevated basics? It's an easy way to cruise with confidence. 14. Smoking rules are stricter than ever, and they're watching in real time. Now, if you're someone who enjoys a puff while watching the ocean roll by, pay close attention, because cruise lines are cracking down hard in 2025. Thanks to real-time smoke detection technology, several ships now use built-in sensors and alert systems that instantly detect smoking or vaping in restricted areas. That includes your cabin, your balcony, and any part of the ship not clearly marked for smoking. Get caught? You're looking at a $250 fine or more, and in some cases, immediate disembarkation. Cruise ships today are serious about safety and air quality. And honestly, for families, allergy-sensitive travelers, and older adults, this is welcome news. So if it's part of your routine, just be sure to check the designated areas, because lighting up in the wrong place could cost you more than just a view. 15. Passenger. Codes of conduct are now part of boarding. And finally, let's talk about something new that goes beyond luggage and lobster tails. In 2025, several cruise lines are now asking guests to agree to a formal code of conduct before even stepping on board. That means signing off on expected behavior, including responsible alcohol use, respect for quiet hours, and most importantly, a zero-tolerance policy for harassment or aggressive behavior. It might feel a little unexpected, but the goal is to create a cruise environment that's safer, kinder, and more inclusive for everyone, from solo travelers to families and retirees. Break the code? You could find yourself having a very direct chat with security and possibly saying goodbye to your vacation early at the next port. So if you love cruising for the peace, the people, and the positive energy, this shift is designed to protect exactly that. So what does all this mean? It means that cruising, just like travel everywhere, is evolving. And if you want smooth sailing, you need to evolve with it. Stay curious, read the fine print, ask questions before you pack. Because these aren't just rules, they're signposts, helping you navigate a new kind of cruising where tech, safety, and sustainability all share the helm. If this video saved you from a surprise or gave you a smarter way to sail, tap that like button and subscribe to Travel Vibes for more real-world cruise wisdom straight from the deck. And remember, cruise lines don't always send memos. But with the right info, you'll never be caught off guard again. Here's to smarter sails and smoother seas. See you in the next video.